TVFCU.
You know, you can't go anywhere these days and not have some type of conversation about AI filtering into it. Often that conversation is about how AI can be a beneficial thing, but Nancy Cogar is here this morning. She, of course, is an elder law attorney here in town, and AI is our focus this morning.
Yes.
You're seeing it maybe in some ideas of positive ideas to begin with, but it can come back and bite you in the end. Is that right?
I mean, I see no doubt that AI is going to change things in my industry. You know, everybody wants to streamline things, but it's not there yet. So I have people who will ask me, hey, can I put a prompt in and ask it to write a will for me? Well, you can, but I'm not real confident in what you would get as a result. And there's a couple reasons. You know, every state has different requirements as far as estate planning is concerned. And if it's not valid, it's not valid. So that's a waste of time.
Right.
And then computers, they don't know what's different. I mean, they can't discern. They can't make these decisions. And AI will make stuff up. So if it doesn't know the answer, it wants to please you.
Yeah.
And it'll just put it out there.
The thing I don't understand about this, and I will plead my ignorance before we even have the conversation. My girls are 27 and 21. They're very up to date on AI. So we have many conversations about, Mom, it's not this frightening thing that people think it is. But you don't want it to replace the human brain, one.
No.
And two, it is fed by the human brain.
Sure.
Its knowledge is provided by people who may or may not be estate attorneys themselves.
Exactly.
Correct?
And if that's not your background, you can't discern what's right or wrong either.
Right.
You know, it's got a limited knowledge bank. And, you know, like I said, someday maybe we'll be there, or at least be there part way. But you know, I just think that it's too risky to plug something into a computer and expect to rely on what comes out.
Let's talk about that risk, because it's a little bit like an insurance policy where you think, gee, I wish I had paid the extra money to have the coverage when you need it, and then it's too late.
Right.
If your will, I mean, part of what you do at your practice is you really get to know those clients, so they're not the formula plugged into the computer.
Right. Everybody's different. Everybody has issues. We've talked about this before. So if you have some generic cookie cutter document, it's not going to address those idiosyncrasies in your family, the problem people, the people that have special needs, you know, how you want to structure your distributions, how you want to protect yourself when it comes to being incapacitated.
Also,
it's just not going to do that.
Also, how to help you down the road. I mean, I know people don't come to you that frequently, but life changes do occur.
Oh, sure.
So they will need to. So somebody might come to you with an initial kind of basic will. In the conversation, you may find out something in their life that prompts you to say, hey, if this happens, come back and let's address it. The AI version would never alert you to that.
No, I'm always asking questions that things people won't necessarily think about.
Yeah.
And they'll say, oh, I never realized that. Those are the kinds of things that can really trip you up. And that makes the difference between talking to a professional and putting a prompt into a computer. And the other thing is, if you change the prompt, you're going to get a different kind of response.
Right. It's kind of hard for me to believe that people are really that interested in doing it this way, but they are.
It's like Google, you know. AI has led to some messy problems, even in the legal industry. We've seen several cases where attorneys have used it to draft legal briefs and things like that.
And then they're not accurate?
Well, the computer made up cases to support the argument that the attorney was trying to make. And guess who found out? The judge.
The judge.
So it was embarrassing, expensive because I got fined, and you know, that's just an example of how AI can really cause problems you don't even think about.
I don't mean to deviate from our topic into that one that you just brought up, but I'm curious, if AI were not a thing, what would that law firm have done? How would they have gotten that case law? They would have researched it?
Sure.
So isn't it, you were asking me about my mom, we were comparing notes earlier before we got on camera, and she and I were having a conversation about if you don't use it, you lose it.
Right.
So if we begin to rely too much on the AI, aren't we just being self-defeating?
We're missing things that we don't even know we're missing. I think. We're letting something else think for us.
Right.
And not asking or knowing to ask the questions.
Right. And then when you trust too much, that's when you can get caught.
Well, and these attorneys didn't check the cases, so, you know, they got, that it was made up. So.
Okay, I'm curious about this. I heard something on the news in the last several days about AI really promoting the good that is there. I don't want to say there isn't any good, but acknowledging that in many cases, some AI systems, whatever you call it, are able to almost predict how humans want to go in and alter, and they're 2 steps ahead of the game to kind of make themselves indestructible.
That's what I mean about it wanting to please you.
So with your money, or with your estates, aren't you providing now a false source, all types of access to your accounts and things?
Potentially. I mean, it depends on how you set those things up. If you automate things, we all like to automate bills, and I think those are really good ideas.
Yeah, I do that.
If you don't miss a payment. But you have to be careful of hacking. You have to be careful of giving too much information, putting that information out there. Because when you put it in, it stays there.
So if you want a real live person, they can contact you.
Yes, absolutely.
Always. I have a minute left. Your initial conversations with people, they're kind of lengthy, right? Plan for an hour?
We take about an hour. And I don't call it a consult because it's really not a consult. It's a strategy session. I want you coming in and with questions, concerns, those kinds of things. It's my job to issue spot and talk about what's available for you, when it comes to addressing some of those issues. So I think it's fun. It's a creative process.
Everybody has an estate. She always will say that no matter what your portfolio looks like, you have an estate and you worked hard for it.
Yeah.
So she wants to help you protect it.
And it's just about protecting you too later on.
You can also listen to her on her podcast. It's called Boomer Time with Nancy Cogar. There's her phone number, 423-596-7220, and the website as well. She will make you feel right at home and want to hear about your needs in the future to help create them for you. Good to see you.
Always good to see you.
The On Brand Agency is ready to wow you.
This week's client is Southwest.
You guys are going to wrap a plane!
We are rolling out extra leg room.
More legroom means more legs.
On Brand with Jim